Parents, welcome back. If things feel strained, tense, or fragile between you and your young adult right now, you're in the right place. This week, we're deepening the theme of connection with courage. The kind of courage it takes to move gently toward your young adult after trust has been shaken. Not courage that storms in, not courage that demands repair, but the quiet, steady kind that lets connection reopen, one soft moment at a time. And if you're in a season where your young adult is struggling, avoiding you, or still living out the consequences of their choices, I want you to breathe with me. Let's take a breath right here. As you inhale, say, "This is your journey." And as you exhale, "This is my boundary." You're not expected to fix anything today. We're just learning how to move forward with honesty and compassion. When trust breaks with your young adult, it almost never happens in a big moment. It breaks in little ways. A promise that they didn't keep, a relapse you didn't see coming, disappearing for days, words spoken in anger, choices that put you out, or simply distance that never got addressed. And the hardest part, the ache lands before the clarity does. Every parent knows that feeling. As parents, our instinct is to close up a little, to protect ourselves, to wait for them to do the right thing before we soften again. But here's the truth I've learned, and maybe you have too. Connection rarely comes back through pressure. It comes back through emotional honesty and steady presence. Not perfection, not big conversations, just consistent, gentle truth. Now consider this gently. What have you been carrying that might be ready to soften? There's no right answer, just an invitation. Rebuilding trust is not a straight line. It's a rhythm, a back and forth, especially with a young adult who's hurting, overwhelmed, or still in recovery. Let's talk about what rebuilding trust with our young adult looks like in real life. 1, soft honesty spoken without blame. That moment stayed with me, and we can talk when you're ready. You're naming your truth and you're signaling safety. 2, consistency over intensity. You don't need a dramatic repair conversation. You just need to show up calmly again and again. Trust grows in tiny repetitions, not big breakthroughs. 3, repair at speed of safety, not speed of urgency. Your young adult may need space before they can talk, or they may not yet trust themselves with the truth. Connection with courage doesn't ignore these hard realities, and it doesn't sugarcoat them either. When you loosen the urgency, the relationship gets room to stabilize. Look at me for a moment. If one sentence of truth could reopen the door between you and your young adult, what would you want that to sound like? No pressure to say it out loud. Just notice what rises. And some of you who are listening are in a harder chapter. I get it, and you are not alone. Maybe you're a young adult, relapsed, returned to unsafe choices, pulled away again, avoided responsibility, or is caught up in consequences that scare you both. Connection with Courage doesn't ignore these realities. It simply says, I can be honest about what happened, and I can stay open to repair. Examples that ground your relationship with your young adult in trust. I can't change the consequences, and I'm not leaving you. I won't pretend nothing happened, and I'm here. And I know that you can rebuild, and I'll still be close, but I'm not taking control. This is what courageous connection looks like in the storm. Not rescuing, not collapsing, not withdrawing. This is the balance with truth and love side by side. Look directly at the camera here. Let's pause for a breath. I want to ask you something gently. Is there another truth that you've been holding on to that you're afraid to name because you don't want to lose connection? You don't have to say it all at once, and you don't have to say it perfectly. Just soften the edge a little and speak with honesty, not heat. Sometimes one honest sentence spoken calmly can reopen more trust than a full conversation spoken from fear. This week, your courage might look like sending a gentle check-in, naming a truth carefully, softening your tone, being consistent instead of intense, or simply staying open when you'd rather shut down. These are quiet acts, but they rebuild trust slowly, safely, steadily. I've learned that relationships heal through small truths offered with compassion, not pressure. Parents, you don't have to rush to repair. You just need to take one honest step at a time. I'm Josie, and we'll walk this week of Connection with Courage together. If this spoke to you, stay with me. Thursday's long-form video will go deeper into what it means to reconnect after distance and how to rebuild safety without losing yourself. I'll see you